Buying a sauna is one of those things you only want to do once, so you really want to get it right the first time. I've spent the last 9 years running My Sauna World, where I've helped over 10,000 customers across the US place saunas in their home, and I've sold pretty much every brand on the market. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the best sauna I'd buy at every price, from the entry-level pick under $5,000 all the way up to the premium builds. By the end, you'll know exactly which sauna fits your budget and why I'd pick it over everything else in that range. Let's start at the bottom of the price ladder, which is under $5,000. There's a few things to know about this tier before we get into the actual sauna. At this price point, you're probably looking at a 1 or a 2-person sauna, and you're obviously not going to get the fancier features like Wi-Fi controls, but you can absolutely get a real, well-built traditional sauna for under $5,000. Just don't go looking for one under $2,000, because at that price, you're not really buying a sauna, you're buying a problem. The pick at this tier is the Almost Heaven Logan. Single bench across from the heater, all glass front so the room feels open even though it's a smaller footprint, and it comes with a couple options that keep you under the $5,000 mark. The thing that earns it the win for me is that it's manufactured in a facility in West Virginia, made in the USA, and at this price point, that's not easy to find. What you're getting for that money is a real Harvia 4.5 kilowatt heater, upgradable to 6 kilowatt if you want more heating power, in a 53 by 36 inch footprint. And it's solid rustic cedar or fir, not veneer, not particle board like the kits floating around Amazon at this price. Two of you can put it together in a few hours with a cordless drill, and it fits through a standard interior door, which matters more than you think when the delivery truck shows up. A couple of things you want to plan before going in. The heater control dials are plastic, so I'd treat them gently and you'll be just fine. And in a 1-person box this small, the air at your feet is going to run a little cooler than up at your head. So most owners just throw a small fan in the corner and that problem goes away. Pick this if you're a single regular user with limited indoor space. If 2 adults are using it on rotation, you may want to move up to the next tier. If made in the USA isn't a deciding factor for you, the close second is the Sunray Aston. It's designed in Richmond, Virginia, manufactured in China. It's also a 1-person sauna with the all-glass front, and it comes in at a slightly lower price point if you want to stretch the budget a little bit further. It's the same 4.5 kilowatt heater inside from Harvia, runs on a 220 volt 30 amp circuit, and it ships with everything you'd otherwise buy separately. Thermometer, hygrometer, dome lighting, ergonomic backrest, ventilation, all in the box. The Canadian Hemlock build is lighter than cedar, but holds up fine in dry indoor heat, and Sunray puts a 7-year structural warranty on it, which is longer than most kits in this range. 2 things worth knowing. The heater knobs face the back wall instead of out towards you, so you can't really see them when you're sitting there, but you adapt within a session or 2. And the bucket and ladle in this box are weak. Most owners replace them after a few uses. So pick this one if you want a more complete kit out of the box. Now we move into the $5,000 to $10,000 range. This is where the conversation actually opens up a bit more, because at this budget, you can start to think seriously about whether you want an indoor sauna or an outdoor one, or even a different shape with a different feel. For outdoor, the pick is the SaunaLife CL5G. It's a 4-person cube design, and the reason it wins this tier for me is the layout. You get wraparound benches opposite to the heater, and a second tier of ergonomically designed benches where you can be completely above the heater, enhancing that Loyly effect. So 1 sauna, 2 heat experiences, depending on where you want to sit. And another thing is that the cube shape is a really clean look in any backyard. What sets this one apart at this tier is the build itself. The exterior is thermo spruce, which is heat treated to pull the sugars and moisture out before you ever turn the heater on. That's why it doesn't warp the way untreated wood does, and it's why owners are clocking 28 minutes from cold to 170 degrees when they're pairing it with a 6 to 8 kilowatt heater. The heater is sold separately on this one, so factor that into your total spend. The 8mm bronze tempered glass front comes pre-installed in the frame from the factory, so you're not setting glass yourself or messing with silicone on assembly day. Now, the whole unit ships at around 1,500 pounds, and the glass front alone is 220. You'll need 2 or 3 people for the assembly, so if you're solo and the side yard is tight, line up help before the truck shows up. Quick note while we're on this tier. Every sauna I'm naming in this video, we carry at My Sauna World. So if you see one you like, the link's in the description and you can go check it out. The next tier is $10,000 to $15,000. This is where craftsmanship becomes the main thing you're paying for, not just size or features. The pick at this tier is the Dundalk Leisure Craft panoramic view cedar barrel sauna, made by Canadian craftsmen out of their own western cedar. It's available in either knotty or clear cedar depending on the look you want. The thing that earns it the win beyond the build quality is the panoramic bubble wall on the side. it gives you a clear view out of one entire wall of the sauna. So instead of staring at 4 walls of cedar for a 40-minute session, you're looking out at your backyard, your trees, or whatever you have in your surroundings. I personally have the Dundalk Pod Sauna, which is the same brand at this tier with a more unique arch shape, and it's great, especially with this big pod window. I can see right out back to my trees and hydrangeas in the backyard. But if you're picking for someone else and you want to maximize the experience at this budget, the panoramic barrel is the way to go. What you're paying for at this tier is engineering for outdoor life. Marine-grade aluminum bands, stainless steel tightening hardware, engineered for freeze-thaw cycles. Knotty cedar has more character if you like that look. Clear cedar costs more and reads a little bit cleaner. It has a 5-year structural warranty too, which is among the longer ones in the barrel category. One thing to know about owning a barrel sauna in general, not just this one. The wood expands and contracts seasonally, so once a year, usually in the spring after the freeze-thaw cycle, you're climbing up and retightening the band. That's not a defect, that's just how barrels work. If you don't want any maintenance task on the calendar at all, a paneled cabin like the Mira at the next tier is the better fit. If you're fine with 20 minutes of upkeep once a year in exchange for the cedar and the view, that's the pick. Now we're entering the top tier category, which sits at $15,000 and up. The Auroom Mira starts at a 1 to 2 person size, just over 15 grand, and goes all the way up to a 4 to 5 person. If you want a built-in changing room at this tier, Auroom's Natura model is the one to look at. The thing that earns it the win at this tier is the materials. It holds up to repeat heat cycles year after year without warping or cracking the way lower-end saunas do. It has multi-tier benches and also comes with a black exterior version, so you can go for a really clean modern look. What you're paying for here is build precision. The walls are 6.1 inches thick, thermo modified spruce on the outside, thermo aspen on the inside. That's real insulation, and you can hear the difference. The room actually goes quiet. All the hardware is concealed inside the panels, so there are no visible screws and no metal brackets showing. Full height tempered glass front, dimmable LED at the backrest, integrated floor drain, pitched roof with a gutter so the rain doesn't pool on top. 2 things to plan for. The heater is sold separately, so make sure that you're picking the right size for the model that you order. Auroom recommends slightly oversizing in cold climates because the glass front will bleed some heat. And first time assembly on the larger Mira is genuinely 2 full days for 2 people. So budget the time and line up an electrician in advance. If you do, the install goes smoothly and you end up with the cleanest sauna in this price band. You might be wondering how I'm picking these. Why these brands and not the others? When we're deciding what brands to carry at My Sauna World in the first place, we look at 2 things. Quality of craftsmanship first, then a very close second, the kind of support and service we get from our manufacturing partners, because we want people who stand behind what they make. Here's what poor craftsmanship looks like. In a customer's home in a year or 2 in, boards don't join together with an airtight fit, parts that were difficult to assemble in the first place, and then the worst of it, boards that start warping or cracking under repeat heat cycles. When that happens, the only thing that matters is whether the manufacturer is going to ship you replacements quickly so you can get back up and running. Every brand I just named passes that test. The ones we don't carry are usually the ones that don't. Now you've got the pick for your budget. The next question most people have once they're looking at actually pulling the trigger is whether the benefits actually live up to the hype, whether sauna use is genuinely worth building into your weekly routine. So click this video here because I walk through the surprising benefits of sauna use that most people don't talk about. The ones that actually justify building this into your week every week for the rest of your life. I'll see you there.